3 to 4 weeks postpartum. I feel surprisingly well, actually. Much better than I thought I would feel at this stage. I'm actually entering into my 5th week now, so time's really moving. It's really amazing to me how fast time has gone. First, let's talk about sleep. So I know before I said that I was not getting any sleep. I'm still not getting any sleep, but the twins definitely do seem to know the difference between day and night. So in the day when they wake up for feeds, they might stay up and like look around. They are definitely more alert now. So before they would just feed and go straight to sleep, and then feed, poo, go straight back to sleep. And at the moment they're kind of pooing, sleeping, waking up, looking around, crying, cooing. We've had a bit of cooing, and we've had a few smiles as well, smiling a little bit. And we're definitely noticing their personalities now, their personality differences. They don't do that at all in the night time. I'm still breastfeeding, and so I breastfeed them and then try and burp them, and then they go straight back to sleep. And they do that between, I would say between 9 and 7 a.m. They're pretty much just up feeding and going back to sleep. In the first few weeks I was changing them after every feed as well, so it's in the middle of the night too, so when I would feed them I would change them and then get them back to sleep. But that kind of disturbed them a bit, so what I'm doing at the moment is, if they do a poo, then I'll change them, and sometimes they might wet through their clothes and I'll change them, and that seems to be working for us. It is something similar to what I did with my son, and it didn't give him nappy rash or anything like that. So at the moment they don't have any nappy rash or any sores or anything like that, so it seems to be going okay for us, and I'm hoping that continues, because that kind of allows my husband and I to kind of stay in sleep mode, so we are able to not feel too disrupted. I mean, we are disrupted because we have to wake up, but you know, not super disrupted. We don't have to turn on the lights or make lots of noise or anything like that. So sleeping has been going okay. I think I mentioned before that I did decide to start integrating naps into my day, just because when it gets to 4 o'clock I start to struggle. I haven't needed to do that every day, but some days when I'm really feeling super tired, I will have a nap in the day. My husband will watch the boys whilst they sleep, and I'll sleep at the same time. But I have also been walking, so I decided that I couldn't take any more and I had to find a way to walk. So I've been using my AMRAP and I've been going on walks. There's a local supermarket, so the first few times I couldn't get halfway to the supermarket, and at the moment I'm walking there and back, and it takes about an hour. So I've been doing that about every other day. I'll take one twin with me, wrap them up. We did go to the supermarket and I was able to fit both twins in one sling in the AMRAP. I put one on each side. It did draw a lot of attention, so I did have quite a few mums coming up to me and congratulating me and wanting to see them and stuff, but it wasn't too uncomfortable to do that. They didn't feel too heavy. I wasn't in there for very long, maybe about 10-15 minutes, but it was much easier than trying to get the pram out of the car and then put them in the pram and all of that kind of stuff. They do really love the slings, so I've also been using that as like my emergency I can't take any more plan. So when I can't take any more of the crying, I will just put them in a sling. If I'm by myself, I will try to get one twin down and then maybe put the other twin on me in the sling, just because it's easier to put one twin in when I'm by myself. When I want to put two twins in, both of the twins in, I kind of need a bit of help to balance them out so that I don't drop them. I have been using that. My mom's been helping too, and she's been using the Ergo Baby. So she's been using the Ergo Baby and taking one twin for a walk, and I've been using the AMRAP and taking the other twin for a walk if they just seem really unsettled. I've definitely began to kind of understand them a bit more and be a bit more in tune with their personality. So generally, twin A is a screamer, so he has a really like intense scream. He goes really red. He definitely shows when he has had enough, but he's generally content as long as he has eaten and he has burped. I've found with both of them actually that they are generally quite settled as long as they've eaten and they're clean. However, if they need to burp or poo, then they will both kick up a stink. Twin B sometimes cries when he needs to poo, so that can sometimes be a bit difficult to figure out because I spend a lot of time trying to burp him and then he'll fart and then I realise that it's a poo. There haven't been many occasions where they've both been crying at the same time, but if it happens when I'm tired, it just sounds like a bell. It's really, really loud and it's like it shakes my brain. So I definitely do use the slings to kind of get through those moments. Having twins really makes having one child seem like child's play. Like, I don't know what the hell I was so freaked out about with my son, but having one child with me is like so peaceful. I have been doing my best to try and keep things clean as well and keep the house in order, which has been keeping me on my toes. So the walks have been helping, I think. The first few times I was really tired afterwards and I was kind of feeling like, is this really worth it? Because if I'm going to be exhausted before I go for a walk and after, then there's not really any point. But at the moment I have found it to be quite mood lifting. I have been playing music and just walking. I can't walk very fast, but I have been able to do the distance. I think altogether maybe I'm walking about a mile, maybe mile and a half. I wouldn't say very far. Also made appointments to get their names registered. I don't know if I'm going to share their names, but we have been going back and forth about their middle names, but I think we've agreed now. Maybe I will at some point share their name, but we've agreed on their middle names now, so we're okay to get that sorted out. I wasn't really sure if I wanted like matching names, like, I don't know, Jim and John, Sally and Sue. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it like that or to give them like names that weren't joined, and I think that I decided to give them names that weren't similar, just names that mean something to me and that I like. So that's what I've done, or that's what we've done with them. So we're happy with that, and we have been getting used to calling them by their names and not baby A and baby B. They are still wearing newborn clothes, so I actually had to go out and buy them some more clothes just because they have been weeing and shitting their way through everything, and it got to a point where everything was dirty and I didn't really have anything cool to put them in. It has been quite hot here in London, so all of the outfits, like the full baby grows and things that I had for them with sleeves, were just too warm. So I went and picked up a few more vests for them to wear. Some 0 to 3s fit them, but for the most part they're still in newborns. We did also need to go back and buy smaller nappies. My Bell's palsy looks like it has absolutely gone, which I am so happy about. I did have a few people comment on my video about Bell's palsy, and I'm happy to do an update on that just to explain what happened and how I recovered. I feel like I recovered quite quickly, so I'm so grateful for that. I feel generally well. I've still been taking iron tablets. My C-section scar has healed, and of course a few weeks ago I stopped taking the antibiotics for my face. I have picked up some pregnant care breastfeeding vitamins, so I've been taking those and I've been pumping, and I'm actually super proud of my pumping my pumping progress. I can get on a bad pump maybe 2.5 ounces out of each boob, and on a good pump, my best pump, I got 6.5 ounces out of one boob. So I am well impressed with that, and I actually really enjoy pumping. I really enjoy breastfeeding. The pumping can be a bit like annoying because it's a bit inconvenient to have the pumps on. I did purchase the Medela Pumping Bra, which is actually really handy. I would recommend it. So I get to pump both boobs at one time, and it actually goes quite quick. I do get nervous about pumping and then them needing to feed, but I think I'm just overthinking things because that's never been the case. I think at the moment I've pumped about 45 bags of, on average, 3 ounces of milk. So I don't think I'm doing too bad. I don't think I'm doing too bad. My husband and I are anticipating going away for a couple of days. I am super excited. I'm super excited to go away because I'm hoping to be able to get some sleep. I know it is only for a couple of days, but I think it will make the world of difference. So I've been making sure that I have enough pumped milk for then. I also think it's really important to try and get out and do things that you would do pre-pregnancy as soon as you can. So I'm definitely excited for that. I am a bit nervous about spending time away from them, and also so grateful that family are able to help us with that. I'm hoping to come back rejuvenated. I did also have my first afternoon away from them, so I was able to go to a sip and paint for my friend's birthday, so I was able to get out for a few hours, which was super fun. I was a bit nervous actually. I was just feeling a bit anxious going out, but I was able to get over that as soon as I noticed the music playing and I was with my friends. So that was really fun, and I'm hoping to be able to spend a few more days out or time out with my friends in the next few months. They are also very good at falling asleep by themselves, which is something that I've never experienced before. I think with there being two of them, it's made them quite independent, which I really like. Both of them are able to put themselves to sleep. So if you put them to sit down whilst they're feeling a bit sleepy, they're able to go to sleep without being rocked or anything like that. I have still been losing weight. So at this point, I think I've lost about 35 pounds, which hasn't been too difficult. So I think that things will get probably a bit harder for me the more that I lose. It's usually how it happens. After my 6-week appointment, I definitely will be being more structured with my meals. Before, I really didn't want to weigh my food. Like a few years ago, I was so against it. I just felt like it was just so long. But I got over it and I started weighing my meals. So I'm going to start doing that, as well as integrating some of the gym in. But at the moment, I'm just trying to do the walks and eat as sensibly as I can. I am trying to work on coping, especially with the babies, because the tiredness mixed with the responsibility, it feels like a lot of responsibility, can sometimes be a bit like, oh my god. So they are still sleeping in their Chico cots. The routine we have does seem to be working well. I have also been able to get a few self-care things done. So I've got my nails done. I actually wanted them to be a bit shorter, but they're cute. So I got my nails done and I got my eyebrows waxed. That's made me feel a bit more of myself as well. I don't know if I've discussed with you guys going back to work, but it is my plan to be on maternity leave for a year. That is what I did last time, so I don't have any concerns about going to work or anything like that. We do have a few fun things coming up. Maybe in August we will go away as a family. The pram was actually a really good buy. I would recommend it. It fits through most doorways. It is really easy to move as well. It's quite light. So I would definitely recommend the pram that we picked. Another thing that's coming super handy is muslin cloth. So if you don't have any of those, then do pick them up. They vomit, not often, but especially when my boobs are super full, they do tend to let some of it come up. So we have spent a lot of time wiping up stuff and wiping things, but I think all of that kind of stuff is normal and is what we expected. I have also been super sweaty. So I was watching somebody do an update. I'm not sure if it was an update or it was a video about what they don't tell you about pregnancy, and one of her points was that you stink, and I think I might have reached that point because I cannot stop myself from sweating, which was normal because that was what I had when I was pregnant, but I really thought that it would subside quite quickly, and it hasn't. So I spend a lot of time being smelly and trying to fit in showers where I can. I think it might just be my hormones balancing out. I'm hoping that's what it is. Oh, and also having a baby up close to my body all of the time, because I'm always breastfeeding a baby or, you know, soothing a baby or something like that. So I spend a lot of time with like body heat around me. So I have also found it beneficial to just like put the baby I'm holding down and just go for a walk or stand on the balcony to kind of separate myself from them so that my body temperature can kind of go down. So I have been struggling a bit with that. It probably hasn't been helped by the really warm weather, but I'm not going to complain because I love summer. So I'm not going to complain about that, but that is something else that I have noticed. I hope you guys have found this video helpful. I will keep doing updates if you guys are finding them interesting. So do let me know down in the comments, and I will see you in my next one. And I want you touching it too. You love the way my silver